There are people earning really good money, but they are still broke. No savings, no investments, just expenses. And the crazy thing is, it's not because they don't earn enough. Because being broke is not just about how much you earn, it's about the system you're actually playing in. So today we are breaking down why you can earn more money and still feel broke, and the mindset shift that actually leads to wealth.
Like, ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the five sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the five sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right?
So our story is quite an interesting one. It took a while before we were able to realize that we were broke because our salary could cover our monthly expenses, and we felt okay with that. And it was later on that we realized it was financially unhealthy to continue on that path. And that is why we are here today to tell you that being broke may not always look like being unable to afford groceries or transportation or buying a new car and so on. Sometimes being broke is actually being unable, sometimes every time being broke is actually being unable to have investments and savings and the rest.
Yeah, like if you're pretty much tied to one income or a single source where if that goes tomorrow, you're actually trapped. Like, do you have how long can you sustain your lifestyle without any income?
Mm-hmm.
That is usually a sign that you're broke.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you don't have something or a reserve or extra funds that can sustain how you live for an extended period of time is usually the first sign that you're broke. Yeah. And because we have, because we had a job, a steady source of income, it's easy to miss all those signs because every month you're expecting a salary
Yeah.
because you put in the work that month. You don't expect that anything is going to happen to that job.
Yeah.
And you have your budget, you're following your budget. Even when big expenses come, you feel like, oh, you can take a
Yeah,
loan
like a chip
because
in.
yeah, because you can say, oh, we're earning this month, we can afford to pay like this amount every month, and you still feel like it's okay, even though you've taken a loan and that has even put your net worth in negative.
Mm-hmm.
But because your monthly income can cover like the monthly repayments for the loan, you don't really look at it as, oh, this is actually how much I'm owing. You just feel like every month I can cover the monthly expense. And those are usually signs that, yeah, you're over the fact that you're considering a loan self. Sometimes it can point to the fact that um
You're broke.
you're broke. Yeah. But obviously in our series, that's why you should subscribe. We will talk about some advantages of taking good loans. There are good
Yeah.
loans you can take and use it to your advantage.
Yeah.
But when you're taking loans for like living expenses or setting things around just things you can't afford at the moment, it's usually signs that you're not doing so well financially.
Mm-hmm. And you know what funny thing I want to highlight in this conversation? Just one time when we went to ShopRite.
Yeah.
You know that time when we felt like we had a lot of money, we'd go to ShopRite. We didn't used to check the receipts,
Receipt.
so we would shop, pick things that we would not use. We'll just be
We
throwing
won't
things in
forget
the
that in the
cart.
house.
I'm telling you, like we'll get home and realize that we've already gotten like two of these things the last time we went shopping, and it was crazy. It was really bad. I think the funny thing when we realized we were broke, we went to ShopRite one day and then we looked like we're actually checking the receipts and looking at things that we didn't need. It was
Yeah.
at that point we knew that
That
we're really
was
broke.
the uh,
Because we started to check the receipts
yeah.
and look at things that we didn't need to take
Mhm.
out. Yeah, it was
Mhm.
crazy.
That was an eye-opening moment. I
Mm-hmm.
think the economy caught up with how much we were earning, and everything that we had, or the should I say the habits we were used to,
Yeah.
because we're already locked in those. Every month, or we go shopping, grocery shopping, and we do grocery shopping for the month, and sometimes that is also a sneaky way for excess things to get into the grocery shopping and all of that stuff.
And the funny thing is, for a lot of people, when they find out they are broke, they want to immediately cut down on expenses, like reduce how much they're spending. But for us, because of how we're used to the kind of lifestyle that we live, we only think of going like higher. We never think of cutting down like expenses. So it was very hard for us to adjust when we found out we were broke, especially around the period where we were trying to get another apartment, like move to another apartment and sort out rent, because it was so expensive, more than double of what we
More
even
than double.
anticipated.
Like, it caught us by surprise because we were pretty much almost comfortable. We could afford where we were. We already had a plan for the rent, like where we were. Yeah, just that the things didn't go so well in that apartment, and it was all the signs were pointing to us leaving the apartment. And we soon realized that moving out is way more expensive than renewing where you currently are.
Yeah.
And that's what becomes apparent, is that if there is no excess money for certain things like that, you have you literally have no other option but to take a loan, whether from family, friends, or which we don't advise, from all this, what do you call it, um what do we call them, predatory digital loan companies. Yeah, because I'm putting predatory because there is no single good digital loan company out there in Nigeria. Yeah. I'm just putting that disclaimer. Don't worry. Like I said, subscribe, because we would have episodes of like where we talk about this kind of topics at length. But for now, staying on topic, we that was a realization, like we had double of an expense that we didn't plan for at all. And transitioning from that to, another point of, you move to a new apartment, you have to do different things again.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's so many expenses that come up during that period, and the only way to cover them, because you are only planning for, this is how much we're earning, this is how much loan we can afford to take, because we can pay back this much. And before you know it, your income is already cut in like half,
Yeah.
because you're using half of it to pay back loans that your habits did not allow you prepare for. Let me put it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. Yeah, and just looking back now, I think about even the extra things that we usually don't plan for, and in the moment we just want to try and like fit into the plan, fit into what we're doing. For example, when we're moving to this house, we didn't plan to do like any interior like curtains or anything. We were struggling with rent already, and we still added curtains. We said we wanted to change our curtains, wanted to
Oh
so
my god.
it was just, we're just entering deep into the brokenness and the terrible financial.
Yo, because, so the thing is that, there are these things that come with this kind of event. Oh, you just get this. There are some things that feel like,
Yeah,
oh,
it just makes sense to do.
you're moving to a new apartment. Obviously, you don't want to, you have curtains, or but obviously it's a new apartment. You want to just make it look a little bit
Yeah,
better, or a little bit different from your former place, and you add
yeah.
all of this. And
And one
yeah.
other funny thing is that decisions like that don't always go so well, because you haven't fully planned and prepared for it. So if there's any change or increase in price, like for us now, where rent was already like times two of what we had budgeted initially, and then we're adding curtains into the equation again, and we didn't know how much curtains were going to cost, so that like we ended up going for something that
Settling for
we
less.
settling
Let's
for
put it like
less.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we didn't get the curtains we wanted. We couldn't now afford to add the extra amount to get what we want, and it was just terrible. I remember looking at the curtains and just crying, like,
Like,
why did this happen to
the
us?
painful thing is that if we had just waited for even a month or two,
Yeah.
we would have been able to get the actual, quality that we wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's the thing. When you're broke, you think like a broke
You
person.
think like a broke
You don't
person,
plan like
poor.
someone with like, and it's actually a sad place to be because there are so many decisions that if you make out of that mindset, you
Yeah.
don't get the best out of what you're paying for. You don't get the best out of the suffering that you've suffered. You
Mm-hmm.
don't get the best out of the income, the everything, because you just feel like you need to do something now, and that's like the biggest lie about spending money, that you have to do it now. If anything says,
Yeah.
oh, you have to pay for this now, you have to run. You say, oh, let me take some time to think about it. And
Yeah.
well, one of the perks of being married is like, the secret to this is saying, let me talk to my wife. Let me talk to my wife first. That's a marriage secret, and also a getting out of brokenness secret.
Oh my
Let me
god.
talk to my wife first. Oh, this is how much it is. Oh, let me tell my wife. That has helped me and saved me a lot, saved us a lot. We'll come back and say, oh, this is how much this person is charging for it. Like, well, let's find someone else.
That's
you know
expensive. We're not doing that. Yeah, I think now it makes so much sense when people say brokenness is a mindset, is a mentality, rather than like being out of cash. It's more of, I mean, it's also being out of cash, but it's more of a mindset than it is like the lack of money. So normally we have this yearly review where we plan for the next year, review the previous year, and just like tweak some things and just know what we're doing for the next year. I remember that particular year was when we had a mindset shift because we realized how deep we were into the sea of brokenness.
Yo,
When we
like,
were not able to save anything that
when
year.
when we looked, I remember when we looked at the finances and how much loan we were
Oh
in,
my god.
somebody was crying. I'm not gonna say who, but yo, it was
Who
it
who
was
was crying? Do I look like somebody that can cry? No,
it was
no.
yeah, it was that deep. So
Yeah,
yeah, that
it was
definitely was,
painful.
yeah, it was a trigger to like, yo, we have to do something about this.
Yeah, and you know why it was really deep? We now had a daughter. Remember?
Was that when from us?
Yes, we moved from the other place when we were pregnant already, and then
Okay.
so at the end of that year we had just had our baby. So it was really deep for us that we were in like debt, and yeah, I think that was where we had our mindset shift to do better the next year. So yeah, tell us about how you introduced us to the new mindset shift because it was all him.
Well, I think it was both of us, because there were several big expenses we still had planned. Like you said, we just had our daughter, and that was eye opening because we had to prepare on a different level. We had to have certain things already set out because there's a certain kind of life we want her to experience,
Yeah.
and looking at where we were financially, we were not ready for that at all. Yeah. So we had several big expenses that we had to come and realistically say we have to pause. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some things about our house, changing furniture, certain things like that, and bigger expenses. We're like, oh, right now we need to get finances in order.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. One of the first things we did was to start learning about money. I think that year, the book for the year, because we usually have books we want to read, but we have one like major book that year that we are focusing on. It was Psychology of Money. Psychology of Money helped us to think or start thinking about money the right way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was the beginning of the transition or the shift. So we were able to realistically look at where we were financially, know and be honest with ourselves that, yo, we're not in a good place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. which helped us to take the actual right steps, not the one that looked good, but the ones that actually made a difference. Yeah. So one thing is like, oh, loans, we are not taking loans for any reason. We are going to try our best to live within what we have, what we're earning, and then the priority will be to get more income if we need more things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the focus and the energy goes into bringing in more income, rather than trying to say, oh, we want to do this thing. We can take a loan because we have the loan offer, and then our salary can actually afford the monthly
Yeah.
repayments.
Or just even like brute force our way and spend all the money at hand to get that thing.
Yeah.
We're not going to do that anymore.
Especially because we now had a daughter. When we
Yeah.
were, in our first year of marriage, we were like, yo, it's two of us.
Spend that money. Spend that money.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Yes, and it was just the two of
Oh my.
us. So especially now that we had a baby, we had to make that switch because we couldn't do everybody's fasting because
Your baby cannot fast.
your baby cannot fast.
She doesn't know what that means.
Exactly. So what that change looked like in actual reality was building savings, building emergency savings, starting to build investments. The expenses that we knew were for sure things like rent. You're going to pay rent. The reason you're not like, why are you not saving for rent? Rent
Yeah.
is a given. You're going to pay
Yeah.
rent.
Like it's as important as
Yeah.
your food that you're
Yeah.
eating every day, the groceries you're going to get every month.
Yes.
Your rent is as important. But
It's
somehow
just
because it's
It's
you think
further
it's
down the
yeah,
line.
you
You've paid
want
for
to
1 year.
wait
You chill.
till and rent
know.
will just come like a thief at night, and the
Yeah.
next thing you're running helter skelter to find someone to
Yeah.
borrow you money to
And I think
make that. Yeah, don't worry,
Yeah.
you can go on.
Yeah, and I think some of that is not necessarily, I wouldn't say fully our fault because we grew up in situations where rent is a big deal.
Yeah.
Everybody, it's a thing to say, oh, this month I'm paying rent, or everybody should expect that you be broke for the next
Yeah.
2 months. I think that's what the society tries to communicate. Like,
Yeah.
this month is rent, or everybody just says it casually, like, oh, I'm paying rent this month, or it's just a signal to say like, you're broke or you
Yeah,
don't have
I'm
much.
about to be broke.
I'm about to be broke or something like that. Yeah, and we felt obviously we're in that space as well because I have caught myself using that numerous times. Like, this one is rent, or not to that. So we went as far as starting to plan to save for like rent, trying to have rent before rent is actually due. Yeah, and then we even went a step further to things that we know for sure, like our daughter's school fees. We know she's going to start school one day. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we know that we would have to pay the school fees. So why are we going to now wait till that time comes to now determine that we will start having the school fees? Yeah. So we, like, very early on, she hasn't even still started school.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we already have like some reserves for school fees already, so that we are able to just like, school fees is not the barrier in trying to choose a school for her. Yeah. So those are like some of the interesting things that the mindset shift can do for you.
Yeah.
But being broke, you think about expenses as they come. Whatever comes is whatever you try to prepare for. Not prepare for. At that point, you can't prepare again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you just give it as it is.
And let's not forget that it was a very difficult switch. Like we didn't just automatically switch to like the mindset of preparing and saving for important things. It was very difficult to adjust at first, especially for
Many
me.
conversations.
Like the conversations, at a point I was scared to have the conversations. In fact, because he started reading the book first, yeah, and most of the time he would come to me to tell me about something that he had just learned from what he read and the other videos and podcasts he was watching to learn about finances the right way. So I remember that he would come to me and just hit me with one sudden change, like, oh, from what I have learned, this is what we're going to be doing now. What do you think about it? And I'm like, what do you think about what? So you're telling me that from now till so time, we will not have this thing that we were talking about and planning to buy or planning to do. So it was very difficult for me to adjust, because we already had things that we were expecting to do, some of the house upgrade that we wanted to do, just a lot of things, not just on that aspect, but different things that I can't probably talk about right now. But the fact that he was coming to me to tell me that we were not going to be able to do these things now, not that he was even saying that we're not going to do them at all, it was just that he was saying we needed to calm down and pace these things. But to me, my emotions at that point, I just could not process it. Like, why do we want to, like, we have the money, why do we have to pace these things? Like, let's just do it and get it over with. But then he was like, oh, this is what we are trying to learn. We're trying to learn how to spend money the right way, and we can't be doing like what we used to do before. It was difficult, I'm not going to lie. I was dreading those money conversations. There were times when he would say, baby, we'll need to talk, and my heart would just start pounding like, God. And I'll now tell him, what do you want to talk about again? Is it about money? I know it's about money. He said, of course it's about money. And I'm like, why do you want to ruin my mood? Why do you want to make me have a sleepless night? But yeah, it was fun, but it was very difficult. It was very difficult.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's one of the advantages of like partnership where you're able to share in those moments and actually grow together. Yeah, because going through that alone is like would have been a lot more difficult. But knowing that you're, well, the person you're with is also on board to try to make the commitment, it's also easier to make that switch. So I'm saying, like, if you're in a relationship, don't try to make the switch alone. It's going to
Yeah.
be 10 times more difficult
Mm-hmm.
because the other person has expectations,
People are going to fight.
exactly. And you can't be trying to make the shift and say, oh, you we're not doing this, and you just feel like you're putting your foot down. It's not by putting your foot down. You have to make each other understand like the reason why you're doing
Yeah,
what you're
and I
doing.
agree.
Yeah,
According
because
to the Bible, can two walk together except we agree?
exactly.
No.
So, you have to agree together that, oh, this is the part. It's going to make a lot of future decisions and conversations a lot easier because you're like, oh, this is why we're making the decision. This money is here. Like, you're saying money you can spend, but because of the decisions you've made, you can't spend the money. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're building different things and
Mm-hmm.
you're planning for the future. I think it's been about 6 months,
Nine,
9 months,
almost a year
almost a
though.
year since we made that
Yeah.
switch. Yeah.
And man, the fact that we've learned patience, we've learned a lot of skills outside of money making that is actually helping us. Yeah, I have learned how to manage money properly, how to not do impulse buying, and a lot of things that I used to do, a lot of bad habits that I had with money before. I have like learned to do better. And I think that's the interesting thing about doing something the right way.
The very first time before we made the shift, that's the year we did the reviews and the goals. We also did a net worth calculation of how much. This is pretty much um, everything you owe and everything you have. So everything you have
Sorry,
minus.
before you
Okay.
enter into net worth
Yeah.
calculation,
Yeah.
there's something I want to say.
Okay.
So let's not make it look like it was, oh, we just talked about it was difficult and we agreed. Let's let them know that there was a lot of fight. Yeah. So that you know that these things don't come easy.
Yeah.
When you're learning to do the right thing, there's a lot of friction that will happen. You shouldn't be scared of fights. Yeah, we
Yeah.
fought a lot about like the whole, because I mean I was on the whole thinking or trajectory that we should spend the money because we had it and we could afford to do what we wanted to do, and he was on the whole pacing trajectory, like let's pace ourselves, let's save, let's invest, and spend the right way. And because of that there was a lot of friction, and but thank God we're able to get out of that phase.
Wait,
And
sorry. Even on that, yeah, you should also, like, while you're in those fights and experiencing those friction, you should also understand that it's not just a fight between the both of you. It's a fight between, like, the culture, like the habits
yeah,
that you've had growing up,
mm-hmm,
the how you grew up with money, how
yeah,
you
the
saw your parents
economy,
around money, the
everything.
economy. You're already like, it's not just the fight with the two of you. You know, you're
Yeah,
fighting the mindset, and the mindset is
yes,
rooted deep into other stuff. So whilst, like, those conversations are happening, you know, while emotions are high and all of that, still try to understand that it's not just like, oh, what you guys are trying to do right now is just like, oh, a simple fight between you guys not agreeing. The reason
yeah,
you're not agreeing is way deeper than, you know,
mm-hmm,
what it is on the surface.
mm-hmm.
So
And those are the
yeah.
things you need to break free from. So yeah, it's. I just wanted to cite that.
Thank you
But
very much. Thank you very much. So the it's important, very important to note that it's not going to come easy. But that's the interesting thing. Or that's the interesting thing of having someone that has agreed to do life with you.
yeah, you
Yeah.
have to
So
join your head together by fire by
yeah, by
force.
fire by force. Yeah. So back to the net worth. Yeah. When we did our first net worth calculation, we were way in the negative.
Minus.
Minus. Our net worth did not have any net. You know, it did not have
Net
any
worth.
net.
It didn't have any worth.
It
Our
didn't have
net
any
did not
worth.
have any
Exactly.
worth.
Actually, yeah.
Oh my god.
So it was quite interesting to see, and you know, just over the 9 months to a year of, like, the whole mindset shift, like, now we are way in the positive, yeah, and is yeah, it's something to
We'll
be
put those cash,
those kind.
the pouring cash. What's it called?
What do you call
Yeah,
it,
in the edit.
in the
Edit.
edits? Yeah.
So it's flying everywhere.
Yeah, so I would say, like, to a certain degree, despite, you know, the economy being what the economy is, we're not removing that fact, because the economy is a big deal. It has gone, like, way down. You know,
I have
despite
no
all of that,
words.
you know, it's not, and that's the whole thing. It's not about how much money you earn, yeah, because we've made all these shifts way before any income increase, way before any income
Yeah.
change, and we started seeing changes along those trajectories all through this journey. So that has been quite interesting to see. So if you haven't calculated your net worth, try to calculate your net worth. Sum up all the savings, investments that you have, plus your cash at hand, minus all the money you're owing, all the debts, buy now, pay later, fair money loan, his money loan,
Unfair money loan.
yes, pound pay loan, company loans, you know, all of those loans, you know, add everything together, minus it from how much you actually have in savings. And if you're in the minus, do not feel demotivated. Just look at
Nine
it as
months
a,
ago, we were in the
yeah,
minors.
exactly. So just look at it as a starting point, and you can definitely get out of it.
Yeah.
I think I've said subscribe to this channel like 5 million times in this video, but yeah, subscribe to our channel to, like, find the right ways to actually grow financially, because we'll also be doing the right way to calculate your net worth. We'll be showing you, like, real examples with actual figures, yeah, and show you how to get that and then use that information to make certain changes, yeah. So yeah, so just subscribe to the channel, put notifications on,
Subscribe.
yeah.
Loose powder.
Yeah. What else?
I think that's it. We've come to the end of today's video. Yeah. Yeah. So let us know in the comments what you have learned so far.
Are you broke?
Are you broke? Are you broke? You gotta ask yourself that question. Whether you're broke. Now, remember, being broke is not just about cash at
Yeah.
hand, how little money you have. It's more about how much you have in your savings, how much you have in investments.
It's nothing
and
to be ashamed of.
it's nothing to be ashamed of.
Staying
It
broke is
you.
what you can be ashamed of. Yeah, but
Yeah,
being
but
broke
being broke
is just a
it's
state you
temporary.
pass
Yeah,
through. Yeah.
it's not the end of your life, right? So just make that decision today. Ask yourself the right questions and know what to do from there. So in the next video, we'll be talking about having an emergency fund in
Nigeria,
Nigeria.
this economy. What else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Bye.
Subscribe.